What's up, peeps? Welcome back to the channel. You know, it continues to be a real sad time in esports, with the future being relatively unknown for a lot of people out there. And the news that broke this last week was completely shocking. One of the people that was a part of TSM when I first got into esports, one of the few and I would say better social media guys out there who have ran esports teams for a long time. His name is Dunk, and he was with TSM and announced this past week that he had now been laid off. And this kind of actually spiraled into bigger news than I ever thought it could be. But it's just crazy. When you think about how crucial and important social media managers are for esports organizations and what kind of picture they can paint for them, but to see news like this, it hurts, man. And he is one of thousands of layoffs so far throughout 2024. It has been real dark times, but there is a brighter side. I continue to hope for that. But let's get into the more important part of this story. Is this the eventual end of TSM? As he posted, on the anniversary of my 5th year working at TSM, they told me I am no longer employed. I'm currently in shock and am working on processing it, as the team around me was cut and I inherited more responsibilities. And with only 9 people left working on TSM, I didn't expect to be next, but here I am. I'll put out something bigger when I've come to terms with what just happened. And this news was absolutely shocking. Even more so shocking with the news is the line that only 9 people are left working at TSM. TSM, one of the first organizations to sign tens of millions of dollars of a deal with FTX years ago that unfortunately fell through. TSM with, I would say, at least a couple profitable businesses that people thought TSM was also leaning towards profitability, at least better, more than some of the other esports teams out there. TSM, one of the more recognizable brands in esports history, not just NA, but in all of esports, who currently now are not even in the LCS and not even in currently League of Legends, and now being ran by less than 10 people. That is shocking. We are talking about an all-time brand in esports laying off arguably one of the better social people in esports. I mean, when I think about all-time social peeps, I think about Cloud9 Porty, I think about TSM Dunk, and I think about whatever 2 peeps out there run G2 and Sentinels. They do a killer job of engagement and painting an image for their organization. And when you say the names, or at least you see their socials, you typically know who is behind them or that they're doing a great job. Those are my 4 top teams when it comes to social engagement. I know there's probably other answers out there, but those are some of the guys who are just doing a really good job. And this was crazy. But what gets even crazier is his responses saying Slack and email got cut instantly, so I didn't get time to say goodbye to my homies. Also, no severance. So if anyone's got any contract work, my DMs are open. I was curious about this one because no severance, that's rarely seen, especially for someone this loyal. He says and clarifies, this tweet is out of upset. For context, I was a contractor, but classed and treated as an employee. I couldn't go full employment in the UK, and with them being in LA. After 5 years, I would have hoped for just a little parting gift. And yeah, you would think after 5 years, pretty standard to expect. I don't know, a couple of months, or at least a couple of weeks, right? That's absurd, especially for what he has offered the organization. Dunk certainly has people that have maybe disliked him in the past, but a lot of people that have supported him and what he has done work-wise for TSM cannot be looked down upon, no matter where you're coming from, all right? We've all been in esports long enough to know that none of us are perfect, so I leave that at the door with someone like Dunk. And again, more importantly, focusing on how the frick is one of the biggest esports teams out there now on an absolute skeleton squad. We look at someone like Evil Geniuses, who has gotten rid of nearly everybody, every team, and every franchise roster that they have had in the past 6 months, and including changing out their CEO. I thought they were a skeleton crew, and now you have TSM apparently being operated by 9 or less people, because by the time I recorded this video, they are still laying off other people, most of them I think that I've seen so far being editors. I'm not sure if Dunk was referring to 9 full-time staff and how that works, but less than 10 people are running this team. Arguably, I actually should say rightfully so, a lot of people concerned about what this means for TSM. The current best roster they hold is Apex Legends, 100% bar none. They are incredible, but with no staff around, what's the future going to be? People were so concerned that TSM themselves even posted to Reddit to clarify some things, and it was a lot of nothing, but it was also just they're still interested in esports. That's what they say. They are still committed to esports. Stating before diving into this update, we'd like to take a moment to acknowledge all of you, our fans. We've seen your frustrations and we understand and appreciate the patience you have shown as we've been working behind the scenes on our esports strategy. The ecosystem has faced some challenges in recent years, and we are trying to be mindful of our approach to ensure our sustainability and longevity as an organization. Moving forward, we will make our best effort to issue updates quarterly. That said, we want to reaffirm that TSM is still fully committed to esports. Although we cannot share many of the finer details of our plans for the future, we can confirm that we are actively looking to partake in multiple Tier 1 esports that includes League of Legends, Valorant, and Call of Duty. Which, by the way, all of that is shocking. I guess not League of Legends. They're still trying to find their way to a top Tier 1 scene or region that they can be allowed into and buy into for League of Legends. Valorant, I don't know if there's availability there or money there. And then Call of Duty, these are all franchise systems, and that needs a lot of money and time. So I'm a bit more confused than anything when they say this. I'm hopeful for them to be in these esports because a lot of them make sense. The Call of Duty one was a real curveball, though. We are diligently working towards our goal of acquiring a League of Legends franchise slot in a Tier 1 region by the end of 2024. This process takes time and requires patience as negotiations of this magnitude have many hurdles along the way. We are equally as eager as you are for TSM to return to LOL Esports. It is also our strong desire to be in Valorant Champions Tour. We will continue to evaluate the Valorant Challengers League viability after open qualifiers have ended. Call of Duty has a really dedicated community, and it's something we would love to be a part of. We are excited to kick off 2024 by rejoining the Rocket League competitive space. I did see that announcement, so that's congrats to TSM. Rocket League's a great esport, even though they have their own struggles ongoing, and hope that all of you will join us in supporting our new squad. We're actively looking to enter new games, and we'll update our fans when the timing is right. Rest assured, we're listening, and our goal is to give you great teams to cheer for under the TSM banner. So after all of that, I mean, it's just a lot of new information has come to the table. The fact that TSM is being operated by less than 10 people, they are still rejoining esports. It looks like a parallel story to what we're going to be seeing for a lot of teams out there, managing esports teams with skeleton crews, and we're going to see if all of these teams can keep up by doing this with just skeleton crews, because I think a lot of people underestimate the producers and the management and the staffing and the coaches and the analysts and all the stuff content-wise it really requires for a team to fully operate, not just on socials, but all of the content and all of what their players need and what the leagues need. It's just, it can't be easy, and I'm not envious of that at all. One last thing is Dunk did have a post. I would hope that maybe based off the response, he was able to reconcile some sort of severance. He did give thanks to several former or hopefully some still current TSM members that became his friends and family over these last few years. But for me, it just it's a sign of the times. It's a sucky sign of the times. And TSM is not really doing too much right now, which is wild to say because over the past decade, they've done a lot more. And they're just kind of trying to reevaluate and refine their way into esports. And this is a real make or break time to do that. You don't find yourself in many esports or leagues right now, and you're just laying off people. You almost kind of find yourself in the EG shoes. You got to make a choice and hope that choice sticks and works out well because you run out of cards to play, which is, it's scary and it sucks for everyone all around. So till next time, hope you guys all enjoy. Go show Dunk some love if you guys want to. Hopefully going to find some work. He's got a good resume to set his feet on. But yeah. Till next time, take care. See you guys back here.